What's up, you guys? Slasher movie reviews to bring you guys a spoiler-heavy review of Insurgent, which means if you haven't seen the movie or at least read the novel, then you should definitely, I'm kicking you out, don't watch this video. Go watch my non-spoiler review instead. So without further ado, let's begin. Whoa, you guys. I don't even know where to begin in this video, guys. There's so much to talk about. Between all the things that they changed from the book to the movie, to just the movie as itself, there's so much to talk about. So let's go ahead and get into this so this video is not freaking 30 minutes long. The opening itself is super awesome. I'm loving Janine's narration, and I saw it in IMAX 3D, so it was super cool. But literally not even a minute into this, and we're already seeing changes. You know, the box is being found. The addition of the box worked. It helped streamline the plot. While yes, the plot does get a little convoluted at times, the addition of the box really helped streamline. And yes, it changed the motivations of Janine, but I dug it. And the addition of the simulations was probably my favorite thing that they did, because it added more action, it added more visual flair to the film. Yes, the effects were a little weak and could have been done a little bit better in a couple of moments, but I enjoyed the simulations, especially the Amity one. Also, Miles Teller kills it as Peter in this film. He has so many great one-liners in this movie. He owns it. I really love the whole thing in the beginning. He's like, go with happiness. I also love the aspect that they added more about Trisha's family in this film. You definitely see that by adding more about her family and her relationship with her family is definitely going to make Allegiant, the ending of Allegiant, hit all the more harder. Now, I'm one of those people who's perfectly fine with changes from a book to movie adaptation. You know, because I understand how hard it is to turn one medium into another medium. But there were a couple of things that I really did wish they kind of inserted. The biggest thing being the PTSD with the gun. Trish is traumatized after killing Will, and to the point where she doesn't want to shoot guns. But in this movie, man, she's picking them up and she's shooting them all over the place. I think the only thing I kind of really wish I would have seen would have been the peace serum, because it's such a funny moment. I hate that stupid device that Jai Courtney has that tells them what faction they are and what percentage they are. I think it's the dumbest thing. You are 40% divergent. What? No, there was a specificness in the book about technology, and that technology was applied very well in Divergent. But Insurgent, having these wands and stuff like that, no. Uriah, his character in this movie is completely useless because he wasn't in the first film. His role in this is completely forced, and it just felt like it was shoehorned in because the fans demanded it. Now let's talk about the ending, because while for most of the part of the movie I'm enjoying it, yes, there's a lot of changes, but for the most part I'm like, okay, I can go with it. It's the ending where I'm like, okay, I'm throwing up some red flags now. And that is when we see the message. The message comes on screen, and we find out that this was all an experiment, and that divergents are a vital part of sustaining society. But the problem is the lady giving the message is a huge character. But you don't know her role. They don't tell you her role, which is so crazy that Insurgent leaves out the big plot twist of Insurgent. I guess that they said, oh, we're going to wait and give that in Allegiant because we're going to stretch it into 2 movies and we need stuff to fill in as fluff. But it just was completely just like, what? Why? You could have just been like, hey, I'm blank, and this was an experiment. But then it gets even weirder, because they're all marching down the line headed towards the gate because the gate is opening, but that's not what happens in the book. What happens in the book is Evelyn is shuts the gates in a sense and be like, no, y'all can't leave. But they're all heading towards the gate, and literally in Allegiant, they have to find a way to sneak past the gate because Evelyn is like, no, we can't go outside. Which is really bizarre, the fact that they're doing that. So it threw up a couple of red flags. I don't know how I feel about it still, because I need to see what they do with Allegiant to know whether or not I like it or not. Now, the last shot of this film is just another one last change, and that is the fact that Tori doesn't kill Janine, but Evelyn does. And I actually, for one, dig this change because I think it sets up Evelyn's dictatorship really well, especially earlier on when we had that line, "I'm the lesser of two evils." I think we get to see that come to life when she kills Janine. So I really dug that. So, what was my favorite scene in all of Insurgent? By far, the True Serum. Man, did this scene hit hard. It hit real hard. For he's injected, he's walking up there to confess his honest truth to prove that they're not criminals. And when he starts speaking, you know, he's a very masculine guy, so of course he holds a lot back in. But as soon as he says, "Because I fell in love with Trish Pryor," you're like, wow. That hits hard. You're like, and I love that moment of vulnerability with 4. But then it gets even more great when Trish gets up there and she's crying and she's sobbing and she's having such a hard time getting out the words because she's really struggling with her inner demons about it. And she's like, I killed Will. And Christina sees it and it's just, wow. Powerful moment. So there you have, you guys. That was my spoiler review for Insurgent. I liked the film. There were a lot of changes, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So please leave in the comment section below your thoughts on some of the changes. What was your favorite scene? All that stuff. Let's talk about this film. We have a lot to talk about, so I'm sure we can talk about it. So until next time, you guys, I'm the Slash Movie Reviewer, and you guys have just been slashed.